What's going on, guys? Dr. Greg here with another video. Today we're going to talk about the loaded pigeon. Most of you probably know what the pigeon stretch is to get really good mobility through that hip into that glute complex, better for deeper squats. Today we're going to talk about how to load in that position so that we're getting strength and mobility, maybe even better mobility at the same time, so that we can really be prepared to load the hip and the glute the proper way, especially deeper into those heavier squats, and not put stress into the lumbar spine, the low back, the knees, the hips, and get all of that type of joint pain and tendon pain that so many of my patients come and see me. So try this one out. All right, guys, so I'm gonna be performing this on the table, but at home, feel free to do it on the yoga mat, on the floor. So you have nice, good, solid ground, good stability. I think that's better than this kind of cushy table that I got here. So let's talk about pigeon stretch first. So if you don't know what pigeon is where you get on your hands and knees, okay? We're trying to stretch out that glute. So you're gonna drive that knee forward towards your hands, bring that foot underneath you a little bit more. And now I can sink back into pigeon. I can collapse forward a little bit, collapse all the way down, and be in a lot of different positions here, okay? So for this, what I wanna do is sink down into that stretch, but then I'm gonna use my knee to come just out of that stretch, okay? So I'm gonna kind of sit up. I want my pelvis to come with me, so I'm not arching through that lumbar spine too much. So I'm tucked under. I'm letting the upper back stay strong. And right now I'm loading into that hip. And this should be on fire if you're doing it the right way. After you do some holds, I usually like to do 20, 30, 40-second holds. Take a little break, obviously. But then you want to get in that position, and we're going to come in and out and do little pulses at the end range there. So I'm going to sink back down. I'm going to come out and come back in. Come out and come back in. Now, I got pants on, so I'm sliding really well. If you're on the yoga mat, that's not going to work so well, right? So you can use a slider under your knee. You can take your knee off, pat it with a towel, and do it on wood floor or tile floor, whatever you got. If you're on rubber, you're going to need some sort of slider to slide on, okay? But again, just to review, we're loading, we're holding, hinge forward a little bit. So I'm stressing that glute and not putting into my lumbar spine. And then we can do little hinges in and out. So just to review real quick, we can load into that joint, hinge forward. So I'm nice and neutral through the spine, or I can come back up and tuck under so that I'm not too archy through the lumbar spine. And then we can do our pulses. All right, guys, so that was the loaded pigeon. That's a tough one for people to do on their own, especially at the beginning. So you usually need an expert to kind of be watching you and watch your positions. I really like the hold there to begin with, and make sure you solidify that, really get really good at that before you start adding the pulses in. But again, we're trying to load that hip, get it stronger so it can absorb more weight and stay balanced in the bottom of that squat. If you have any questions, let us know. We're here in Jacksonville, St. John's. For anybody dealing with any types of pains, come and see us. Have a good one, guys.